Activision decided to hold a crossover of Call of Duty and Ninja Turtles. The company has published a small teaser with a Shredder. His outfit looks exactly the same as in the 1990 movie. Beyond the slogan, "A new evil will rise." The date of March 21st flashes in the video. There is no more clarification, but most likely, in 2 weeks Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 will add the appearance of the main rival of the Turtles. Hello everyone, this is SWG News. Silent Warrior at the microphone, and you are watching the main news of the games of the last days. According to the insider Test2, who specializes in leaks of Grand Theft Auto, the release of the sixth part of the gangster saga may take place as early as next year. True, some content may well be cut out of it. According to the source, Take-Two management wants to see a release specifically in the Christmas season 2024. If Rockstar has problems getting the game out by this date in the required condition, there is an option to postpone the release to spring 2025. But this is the maximum for Take-Two. It is vital to quickly improve their financial performance. Now the company is beginning to suffer losses in its ranks, there are layoffs, and although this does not mean that there are real problems. What is happening scares investors is the drop in income due to the fact that Take-Two has become less likely to release major games, and the rest fail too often. The tactical strategy of Marvel's Midnight Suns and new Tales from the Borderlands, released last year, did not live up to expectations. Peak Online games have never reached even 500 people. The shooter Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and the horror movie The Quarry clearly do not shine with sales, and several relatively popular sports simulators do not make weather for a publisher accustomed to eating from super hits like GTA and Red Dead Redemption. At the same time, in 2021 Take-Two did not give out anything significant at all. There were only a re-release of the GTA trilogy, console Hades, and a couple of add-ons for Civilization. In general, everything is so formed that GTA 6, the bosses of the company are waiting like a dish of heaven. And we are ready to rush Rockstar, even if you have to cut this or that content, in order to speed up the release of the game. In any case, no one has cancelled the additions, thanks to which you can then return the project to its originally conceived integrity. Test2 also made it clear that the official announcement of GTA 6 will take place this year, not next. There is a high probability that we will immediately be shown the gameplay. As for the Take-Two cases, which are increasingly convincing of the need to release GTA 6 as soon as possible, the release of the collection The Outer Worlds, Spacer's Choice Edition failed with those. It has mostly negative reviews about the peak online in the first 2 days was 300 people. The collection, which at the same time is a remaster, caused a flurry of criticism due to the almost complete lack of optimization. The game runs terribly even on the most powerful systems, it manages to slow down and crash. But even more gamers are annoyed by the fact that even the owners of the original version of the new edition are offered to buy at the full price tag, and not upgrade at least at a discount. Here we must bear in mind the fact that the Obsidian studio responsible for the original, The Outer Worlds, has nothing to do with the remaster. It is now part of Microsoft, so the production of Spacer's Choice Edition was entrusted to an outside team, apparently completely inexperienced and inept. Add to all the above, Kerbal Specials 2, early access to which started very poorly relative to the original. It will become clear why the Take-Two bosses panicked and are ready to rush Rockstar to release a new GTA as soon as possible. Since the release of the Mafia 1 remake in 2020, Take-Two has not released anything really successful. Bethesda has finally announced the exact release date for its massive space RPG Starfield. This happened as part of the new trailer, where the authors, after a minute of epic frames, slowly line up the date September 6, 2023 from the numbers of stars. Then the head of the company, Todd Howard, appears, who happily announced that the game is almost ready for release. Small nuances remain, and very soon the owners of the PC and the Xbox console will be able to go explore the far corners of space in search of hidden secrets and mysteries. In addition, there will be an event called Starfield Direct on June 11th, where Bethesda representatives will tell more interesting details about the game. Recall that Starfield will have a really huge world. As Todd Howard assures, there really are at least 1,000 planets here, and this is not a publicity stunt or some kind of fraud, and the team works on all these locations manually and strives to give each planet enough attention. The planets here will move in orbits, and star systems have levels for safe travel. It is imperative to use a spacesuit, of which there will be many in the game with different indicators for resistance to extreme temperatures, toxic gas, and other dangerous things. In the process, it is necessary to collect fuel on different planets, but there will definitely not be a situation with hanging on a ship somewhere in space with the fuel running out. It would be too boring. According to the authors, this is an extremely important project for Bethesda. Todd Howard says Microsoft sees Starfield as a system seller, a flagship product that aims to drive sales across the entire Xbox family. Already in September, we will find out if Starfield has lived up to the corporation's expectations. Clash: Artifacts of Chaos is an action game with fighting game elements from the creators of the Xenoclash and Rock of Ages series, a studio from Chile that is rare for the gaming industry. With this, the main character here is a pseudo-martial arts master who decided to protect a small creature with mysterious abilities from the Mistress of Gemini. In order to defeat her, he will need powerful artifacts, and therefore the hero sets off on a journey through a surreal world, a splinter, to find them. The game world is divided into several zones, each of them is a large level, representing an interweaving of narrow corridors and passages formed from natural formations, some where you have to make your way through the dense jungle, some where you have to jump on sharp rocks, sometimes you have to drown in swamps, and less often you have to lay path through caves of unknown origin. What darkens the picture is the fact that the developers did not take into account that navigation requires at least some kind of intelligible visual landmarks. Almost every local location in the aggregate or being decomposed into its component parts at some point necessarily merges into a barely distinguishable mess, as if by chance. A normal map is cluttered with geometry. While there is no combat system here, you also quickly get tired of opponents. Late, they will definitely be ignored by you. There is simply no need to beat them 10 times. All in all, it wasn't a hit, it was an average game, and when we made this video it didn't even have any Metacritic reviews. The low number of reviews on Steam also makes it clear that Clash: Artifacts of Chaos is not really interesting to anyone. 2 years ago we found out that the Machine Games studio, known for the latest parts of Wolfenstein, is working on a project about Indiana Jones. So far, Bethesda's Softworks has not shown any screenshots or videos. Recently, it became known that we can talk about several games at once. The editors of the Tech for Gamers portal found a profile on the LinkedIn social network of an independent artist who creates concept art for the studio. And just there it is indicated that there are more projects about Indiana Jones than one. It is possible that the developers are so confident in the success of the game that they are already preparing concepts for future sequels. However, we can also assume that we are talking about the main game of their mobile offshoots. The Japanese company Tecmo Koei sent a remaster of Fatal Frame: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse on sale. It was received without enthusiasm. The PlayStation 5 version on Metacritic scores below 70 out of 100. Many journalists are happy that the game has finally received an official release in the West. Some call the project a real Japanese horror, but the downsides include lengthy animations and long downloads. The gamer felt the game should have stayed on the Wii because it looks clunky now. The author of PSX Brazil cites the outdated gameplay, but praises the interesting story, tense atmosphere, and taut graphics. The game is available on PC, Nintendo Switch, and 2 generations of PlayStation and Xbox. The original Mask of the Lunar Eclipse was released in 2008 on the Wii only in Japan. According to the first trailer of the city-building simulator Cities Skylines 2, it could be assumed that the game is being made on Unreal Engine 5. There are too many reflections and huge developed cities. Actually, it is not. The authors clarified that they used the engine of the first part, the Unity. The teams are satisfied with it. They have a lot of experience working with this motor, and they believe that with the Unity, it will be much easier for the fan to make mods for Skyline 2. Epic Games has no plans to stop buying exclusives. According to Epic Games CEOs Tim Sweeney and store general manager Steve Ellison, the platform is adjusting its exclusives purchasing strategy, but the purchase itself will not stop under the adjustment. According to Sweeney, this means that the company is analyzing what worked well with previous releases and what is bad. Among future exclusives, Sweeney and Allison name Alan Wake 2, developed with the financial support of Epic Games. This game is promised by top managers to be an exclusive Epic Games store for a very long time. The specific date is not called. The next project of the Gen Design Studio by the authors of The Last Guardian and the new game from the Limbo developers from the Playdead Studio will be the same long-term exclusives. However, we are not talking about eternal exclusivity. It is also noteworthy that Epic Games still allowed developers to independently publish their games in the store. The corresponding set of tools, which has been in beta testing for quite a long time, is now available to everyone. Developers who self-release their project on the Epic Games Store will pay the platform a standard commission of 12%. If the project is multiplayer, then the multiplayer mode should be cross-platform for all sites. If the game has achievements on other platforms, then the Epic Games Store achievement system should also be supported. Pornographic content, adult content and discriminatory content are prohibited. To release a game on the Epic Games Store, you need to pay a special fee of $100. Now the monthly audience of the service reaches 68 million people. A year ago it was 62, but people began to spend less money. As of the end of 2022, Epic Games accounts received $820 million, while a year ago it was $840. Free copies of games also began to attract less audience. Users took them 700 million times, while a year ago 765 million. In 2023, Epic plans to add support for affiliate services of partner companies, optimize the launcher, and create a page with news and updates. Giveaways of free games will continue. What do you think about recent events? Write in the comments. We will be glad to your likes and new subscribers. And that's all for now. Play good games. And see you again at Silent Warriors Games.